On Regulation 4, we are going to be looking at the prohibition on the handling and transportation of food, as well as the circumstances that lead to food handling premises or food handlers being issued with a prohibition order. Now, let's look at the word prohibition before we proceed any further. The word prohibition means the action of forbidding something, especially by law, meaning that that activity or that action is outlawed or disallowed. So if you look at Regulation 4, Sub-Regulation 1, it reads, a person may not handle food or allow food to be handled in a manner contrary to the provisions of this regulation. That means that you cannot handle food if you do not comply with the requirements as set out in the Regulation R638. Now let's look at Regulation 4, Sub-Regulation 2. Basically, if an inspector has made a recommendation to the local authority, which normally would be your municipality, to issue a prohibition order, and the prohibition order has been served, you may not handle food, meaning that you have got to close down until you ratify whatever issues that have been raised by the municipal inspector. On the next slide, we are going to be looking at the process that is followed when a prohibition order is issued. Assuming that you are a business, fully functional, you are open for business, you are trading, but then for some reason, a municipal inspector during an inspection, either because the normal inspection or because of concerns raised by the neighboring businesses or by your customers, or there's an outbreak of an illness that is suspected to have come from your premises, the inspector can then come and inspect your facilities. So it could either be one of those scenarios during their routine inspections, whether there's been an issue raised by your customers, by your community, or by the businesses that you trade with in that vicinity, the inspector can then come and inspect your facility. An inspector, if they are not satisfied and they do in fact detect a health hazard, they can then recommend a prohibition order. The local authority then issues a prohibition order through their Safety and Security Directorate. Normally that will be the Metropolis, or even SAPS. They are within their rights to issue a prohibition order that has been recommended by the inspector. The order is then served to the person in charge or the representative that is found in the premises. Once that prohibition order has been served, the business then must close effective from the date the prohibition order has been served. You are normally given a timeline as a business to rectify issues. Normally they give you 7 days, which they do, bearing in mind that you may you have to trade after a few days, otherwise your business will go under. So that's why they normally don't give you a long period. Normally it will be 7 days, 14 days, depending on how bad the situation or how bad the health hazard that has been detected is. Once you have rectified the issues, as a business owner, you must then inform the local authority in writing, and normally within 72 hours, they will then come and inspect your facility. And depending on how bad, again, your non-conformance is, they may sometimes request documentation to prove that indeed your facility complies, but under normal circumstances, they'll come physically and do an inspection to see if that health hazard that was detected in the previous inspection has been controlled or has been removed. So once the inspector is satisfied that indeed you have complied fully, then they will then withdraw the prohibition, and you can then trade again, and it will all be good as you had been doing before closure. Thank you.